You're listening to the Keith Harris Show, Industry International, right here on the hottest radio station all across the land. And you know what that is already. That's Hotline Radio. Look, we are very excited, very thankful, and extremely honored to have this young lady on the show with us today. She's been doing big things. As a matter of fact, she's been singing for quite some time now, and now her journey has also, been taken to another plateau as well. So, we'll start out by congratulating her, and we would like to introduce everybody out there all across the land to the one and only Naomi Tatsuoka. How you doing today, girl?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing awesome, as a matter of fact. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's Wednesday, so we halfway through the week. We crunching down on Friday, so that's always a good thing, right?
Oh, yeah.
No doubt, no doubt. What's the weather like out there? You on the West Coast right now, right now?
I am. I'm loving the temperature, but it's pretty overcast.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's beautiful because it's not freezing, and I keep hearing about the feet of snow that people are under all across the rest of the United States. So I feel like I'm sitting pretty. Yeah, you sitting lovely over there. As a matter of fact, that's what's up. So look now, first of all, let everybody know where you're from. You originally from on the West Coast, or? Yeah, basically, I've been a lot of different places, Japan and Illinois, and the East Coast is kind of the only place that I haven't hung out.
Oh, word.
In the U.S. yet, but I plan on it, so,
Hey, look, the way things is going, look like it won't be long from now, though.
That's the plan.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt. Now, to start out, because look, first of all, we love your personality. Your personality is off the chain. You're outgoing, high-spirited, and a lot. I know a lot of motivation must come behind that. Do you spend most of your days happy like that? Like you're the type of person that puts your problems behind you, don't you?
I work pretty hard. I love what I do. I absolutely love it. And I've been doing this kind of off and on since I was 6. So it is definitely a labor of love.
Now, you know what? You've got a wonderful voice. Now, when did you, okay, 2-part question. I won't confuse you, so I ask the first part separately first. Now, when did you realize that you could sing? I mean, because
it wasn't a realization thing. I mean, that's kind of like asking, when did you realize that you breathe, that you walk?
Right, okay. Okay.
Yeah, how I came up, we were just we stewed in music. Everything, I had every instrument that I could want to touch, or, and yeah, so everything was really, really creative.
So it was pretty much, and and the reason I say that, because like you just said, that's correct. Like, that's an odd question to ask. But the reason I ask that question is because everybody wants to sing. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people sing in the shower, people walk around the house singing, but not everybody can sing as good as you, Naomi. So that's, I guess, so the second part to that question is when did you decide that this was something that singing was something that you would really focus on and take seriously?
Well, I've taken it seriously for a long time, but it's kind of terrifying. It's that profession that nobody is ever going to have your back about. It's like, oh, you're broke? Well, maybe you should get a real job. So
right.
So I grew up seeing this, and so it's really scary to even decide, like, I'm actually going to do music. But it was moving to Portland that did it for me, because I don't know, there's something about here, I just knew I had just graduated college, and I knew that I didn't want to, work in food service anymore. Jack in the Box, hi, how can I help you? Portland was what made me really decide to do it. I bought a guitar off of Craigslist, and I put this post up on Craigslist, and I promised I was going to go and just play music and sing on one of the main drags here until somebody picked me up.
Oh, really? Wow, so you was like actually playing you was doing shows and stuff like that, or?
No, not at very first, because I didn't know anybody when I came here.
Right.
Yeah, I went to a jam and there was this enormous music scene here. It's super. Yeah. Everybody's really together about everything, and it's really easy to get connected, and so it just clicked. It just fit.
Right. So you just kind of, you know what I'm saying, you was one of those people that you knew what you wanted, so you just pretty much went after it and made sure you put your foot in the right places to do it. And that's important out here in this industry, because you have to know how to get into the right connection, just into the right scene, in order to even for people to notice you. Absolutely. Now, so playing guitar, so do you know, I'm assuming you probably write your own songs.
I do. I actually have an original album out.
What?
It came out last winter.
Holy cow! What's that? Hey, what was your name of the album?
It's called Flight of the Dragon. It's actually on Spotify and iTunes and stuff. I messed up how I uploaded it, so one of the songs repeats because, yeah. But you know, I'll refund the one person who's actually bought online. I promise. If I can ever find out who it was.
Hey, you know what? That's all right though, because you know, along with that comes a reality of things. That's just doing your thing, so ain't nothing wrong with that at all. That's just Naomi. That's just called getting it done.
I do my best.
No doubt. Now, you know, playing the guitar, and I touch on the guitar. You know, the reason I touch on the guitar in particular is because, like you say, you can. Is that the only instrument that you can play, or that you, or is that just your first choice?
Well, actually, I am mainly a bassist right now because that's just what I gravitated towards when I got here. It was the spot that needed filling in the band that I got with. But I play a little bit of guitar and a little bit of keys and drums too. Oh, bass is my main thing.
Okay. Now I wonder, you know, and I ask this because me myself, I'm into music, but you know, I'm not I don't know the mechanicals. I'm more of a lyricist myself. So my thing is, when you sit down and think of a song, where does the inspiration for your songs come from?
Well, ask that.
We got a story.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. I'm not going to try and compare myself to anybody, but you know, I'm a little bit Adele or Taylor Swift at this, because a lot of my stuff comes from people. You know, songs for me are usually written about an experience that I've had. So even though the words don't necessarily make sense to anybody else, I kind of have this language that happens with stuff. I have a sheet of lyrics on my living room wall that one of the backup singers that I had for one of my shows, I didn't give her a lyrics book, so she was trying to write out the lyrics. And it's amazing. It's amazing what people hear as opposed to what I said.
Oh wow! So that was in other words, that was a tricky song. What is that, like one of the last ones you did or something, or?
No, I kind of pronounce my words funny. So when I sing, so people sometimes just have a hard time hearing it. But oh wow, that's amazing. You sound pretty clear. So I don't know, like
now, you know, to kind of go back and forth, you know, to talking about Idol for a minute.
Yeah.
How did you decide that you were going on Idol? Was it audition in your town, or did you just say, "Look, how did that begin for you?"
So literally the night before because they came to Directors Park in Portland, and we have this Tuesday gig, which if you watch the clip, it's called Tequila Tuesdays.
Yeah, I did.
And so we were at Tequila Tuesdays, and this guy, a friend of mine, was like, "Hey, the Idol bus is coming to town tomorrow. We should totally go. You're totally auditioning for American Idol tomorrow." I'm like, "No, I'm not."
What?
And my best friend, her dog had just died, and she heard about it somehow, and she's like, "You're auditioning for Idol tomorrow." I'm like, "Okay."
Holy moly!
So we went to bed at around 4:30 or 5, and then got up at 7:30 to get there.
Wow. So you know that's a cool story. Like, you know, I've heard some stories. That's actually a cool one because, like you say, you just like this was a next day thing for you. It's just like, okay, your friend said, hey, the bus is coming tomorrow. Kind of like that thing, the bus is coming tomorrow, and you're going to be on it.
That's my whole life, man. The bus is coming, you better be on it.
Oh,
I sometimes wonder which buses I've missed, but I kind of like the ones I happen to take.
You know what, and I'm assuming you already know how good you are at your craft, but you know what, that says a lot right there for the people out there listening, because basically you jumped on that you jumped on that you know, that bus on an overnight scenario and managed to get through there. I mean, with not a lot of preparation other than what you already had under your belt.
Yep.
Man. That's real right there.
That is me in a sentence.
Wow. So now I guess this next question would be would be an easy answer for you, I assume, but I want to ask you, what was it like to, you know, when you first went on, you know, to the audition? Did you have butterflies? But to be quite honest, I saw you myself and I didn't see any butterflies. But I guess for the rest of the people out there, I asked that question, like, you know, were you nervous at all?
Well, the thing that you don't see on the screen is the amount of time, the massive amount of time that goes into making something like American Idol. This is, you know, multi-power, many millions or billions of
dollars. Yeah.
I start kind of going weak at the idea of how many gigs of video they must be taking. But before I got into that room, I'd basically been sitting, waiting to go in that room for a long time.
Right.
And I didn't know when I was going to get called to go in.
Dang. You know,
so literally, all of the butterflies that could be had were had outside of that room for like a 4 to 8 hour period.
Holy cow!
I can't. They blamed it on somebody. One of the judges was late, and I can't remember / don't want to say who I think it was.
Right. Of course.
Somebody's flight was delayed, and so things got started a little late on that day.
Hey, you know what? That had to be a real panicking time, because I know I done seen times I done seen times I was in a room just waiting on a job interview, and I had butterflies. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine what that must have been like, you know, because at that time the feelings come and go, because you go through that period of time for 1-2 hours, you're worried, sick, and then you find a way to get that, you know, kind of get that off your back for maybe 30 minutes, then it's right back on you again, and you're trying to time it. You know what I mean?
Well, I was really lucky because it was the bus tour, so most people didn't have anybody there. Like, everybody had to pay their own way to get to Kansas City for that audition.
Right.
And my fans actually loved me so much that I was able to raise the money to go with me and my best friend.
Oh, man.
So I had somebody there, and she was like coaching me through and talking me through everything, you know, just helping, you know, doing what best friends do.
Yeah, that's
so
amazing.
I was super lucky.
How, you know, I know your family members and stuff like that, you know, must have been ecstatic, you know, but how were they handling? Like, were they going bananas? Because, I mean, like you said, they weren't there at the time. I know, you know, they probably called you right after, or you called them. How was everybody acting on that?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was it's a really big deal. My older sister actually quit her job and moved up here to help me, because she's so proud and wants this to be such a cool thing. She's kind of becoming my promo, publicist, agent type person.
Hey, that's what.
Yes, I would say they are extremely excited.
That's what, you know what, that's what's up though. You know what I'm saying? Like
there were tears cried. There was joy jumped.
You know,
lots of excitement.
So you know what? So assuming you're obviously working, you know, I guess, you know, it's taking more time out of just your everyday schedule now, just in general. Like, what you know, has it changed? You know, just so much going on around you now. Has it changed any? I mean, do you still have time? I know you talk to your closest friends, obviously, like your best friend is with you, but you know, has your time been taken away a little bit to just kind of, you know, see the people like enjoy more time with the people back home and different things like that? Because you're working real hard now.
Man, I wish. I get so caught up in everything that's happening. You know, I mean, I was kind of full. I had a couple of interesting moments that happened before Idol happened. Like, you know, you're biking down the street and somebody's like, "Hey, aren't you that girl that plays bass at that one place?" I'm like, "Yeah, come out."
Yeah.
But now I'm handling people. I'm getting like somewhere between 5 and 20 friend requests a day, and people are messaging me and saying like, "Oh my God, you made me cry. It was so cool." And I really try and get back to everybody. And there's that one guy that I missed, and he's like, "Really? You're not gonna message me because you think you're all famous and shit?"
I know, right? Yeah, he's like,
and
yeah.
I'm like, "You're the one guy I didn't get back to. Are you serious?"
Yeah.
And yeah, I get so caught up in the social media and the work of the promotion side of things, and so I really need to sit down and show my sister how much, and my mom and my other sister how much they are meeting.
But you know what?
They're being neglected. I am the bad husband.
But you know, but you know what though? I know at the same time though, you know, obviously as a lot of people know, they probably the ones that's, you know, obviously sticking to you. And out of everybody, I know they the ones that probably have to really understand what you must be going through. And then you know there's always going to be that hater out there that's going to say that to you. Oh yeah, you think
well,
da.
You know, how I like to think of it is it's just everyday life magnified.
Right.
Everything, you know, there's more ups and there's more downs. But they're equal, you know.
Well, yeah. And I mean, that's a good way to look at it, too.
Ratios of everything, just more.
Right. Now, let me ask you, because you have an amazing personality. Just you're really bubbly and outgoing. Has that always been you?
Yes. Yeah. I've always been pretty outgoing and I try to be funny. Fail most of the time.
Yeah, you are. You are, because you had us cracking up on that episode. You know what I'm saying?
I definitely used to. I wanted to be a comedian when I was like 12.
Yeah.
I had memorized certain monologues from, you know, like Ace Ventura and different Robin Williams stuff, and yeah. So
what did you go to school for, if you don't mind me asking?
I went for Japanese because it was easier than math.
Oh wow, I know that's right. Good gracious, I still don't like. Woo, I know exactly how that can feel because I take you know, doing math in class. Now wait a minute, when you say you went for Japanese, is that like? I guess elaborate on that for me.
Okay, I am actually 7/16 Japanese.
Right.
My name means the healer of Dragon Hill. For those who are geeky like me and like to find kanji stuff. And yeah, I was a math major, and basically the whole reason I went to college was just because I didn't want to have the question of what my life could have been if I hadn't gone. You know, there's so many times you hear people and they're like, "Oh my God, I don't have a degree. It makes my life so much harder." I'm like, okay, well here, I'm gonna go get a degree, and then I'm gonna go live my life exactly the way that you're living yours, and it makes no difference. It's literally a piece of paper that's on my wall, and I kind of like wish that I hadn't wasted the time.
You know what though? It's amazing. You know, and for everybody out there listening, you know, just like she said, you know what? It's still good you did it though. I mean, I know where you're coming from though. I guess it's kind of hard for me to be saying on here as well because, you know, not to take anything away from education because it's good to have one, and I encourage anybody to go get that under their belt. But also,
yeah, but the way that it's done is just bad.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I grew up homeschooled, and I started going to college at 14, graduated at 18 with an AA. So
Wow.
I you know, it's silly, but like, I'm good at school.
Right.
You know, there's always those kids in the back of the class getting A's without doing any of the fucking homework. I'm like that kid's cousin.
But so you doing the work though?
Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah.
You said kind of like
sometimes. I mean, it depended, but the point is, school is stupid the way that it's done right now. Learning, we really, everybody needs to like, hey kids, you should educate yourself. But college is stupid. Don't waste the money. Go to community college.
I can't lie. It's not the first time I've heard that. Definitely, it's not. And you know what? And you know, to kind of go along with what you were saying, I agree in a way, because I feel like it's important for people to focus, such as yourself, for instance, to focus on what your dream and your goal is, because in a lot of ways you really can just take up, you know, figuring out that, or take courses, or take classes, or just try to become the master at your craft is what you want to do in particular.
Exactly.
Because you'd hate, just like you just said, Naomi, people out there, like some people would hate to go spend all that money just to come out, barely use any of the things that they spent the money on learning. And then not only that, but, you know, with the economy and the way we live today, you know, the way it was a little while ago, you wouldn't even be guaranteed to be able to put that knowledge to good use, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've got people with master's degrees going homeless.
Exactly.
Or working at Starbucks. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, one of the realest conversations that I've had on here in a long time. So.
Sorry for that random U-turn into otherwhere land.
No, but you know what? That's important, and I like that too, because listen, let me tell you something. It's important for people out there, and I say this to all the listeners and people out there. You need to get the real side of things from people. And I actually, you know, I respect Naomi for really coming out and doing that, because, you know, she could have been just talking about strictly about, you know, what's going on with her singing and this and that, and not really being conscious of her surroundings in the world she lives in today. So, you know, that says a lot right there, Naomi. It means you're on your game.
Well, thank you.
No doubt, no doubt.
I like to think so.
Yeah. Now, and it shows you're not afraid of society. That's a big deal. No doubt. Now, coming up, okay, because I know you're going to be moving on. All right. How are you preparing for the next level of American Idol? I mean, are you, you know, do you have any things you do before you go on stage? Do you talk to yourself? Do you play your songs over here? Like, what do you do?
Well, that's actually a good question. For Idol was the first time that I've ever had to do this, because, you know, I've been on stages my whole life. Mm-hmm. You know, like I don't get jitters unless it's a big deal. And so I don't actually have, I didn't have a contingency plan. Uh-huh. But I actually did go and hang out with this kind of like energy worker, like spiritual healer type woman, because mm-hmm. I was pretty, you know, I was pretty intimidated by that room and what was going to happen.
Right.
So, what I do for stuff like that mm-hmm. is I actually visualize a golden spiral going from like where my feet are up out through my head.
Oh, you're good. You're good. I know. Look, I'm not gonna say nothing, but I kind of think I know where you're going with that one. That's it's like creating the energy, right?
It's like visualizing what I think my energy should look like. Like
exactly.
That's the spiral and the three things, and then the like kind of closing off from the energy, because it's so you know, I mean, you're going in there and you're asking somebody to talk shit, you know, or if there's shit to be talked, it's going to be talked. And, you know, there's always, you know, you mentioned earlier, like, well, you know you're good. I'm like, yes, I do. But at the same time, you know, sitting for that many hours, I literally started questioning. I'm like, am I that guy? Am I that guy that, like, thinks he's really good? Yeah. And, it's a mind fuck. It's definitely, it's hard to, it was a challenge.
Hey. And you know what? That's good though. So you kind of, like you said, it gives you a way to shut out other things and just be able to center yourself into your own world. And like you say, just draw whatever good energy you're trying to take in.
Exactly.
Wow, that's amazing. Now, you know, before we get ready to go out, you know, of course, in a minute I'm gonna ask you to do shout outs, but what advice? And I know this is going to be good because you're not going to give the cliche normal advice that, you know, as you've already proven, you know, you're not going to just say the norm. But what advice would you have for those coming up out there who kind of want to follow in the same footsteps and follow their goals in this field?
Have a plan. Because I feel like that is one thing that I could have really benefited from. Is like, if you have even an inkling that music is something that you want to do, start working on it now. Yeah. Don't let it intimidate you. Don't ever let it scare you out of pursuing it, because the more time that you put into that thing, the better you're going to be, the more successful you're going to be. And even if you decide that you don't want to do it, obviously you enjoy it, or you wouldn't have decided that you wanted to do it in the first place. So fucking do it. Right.
Just go for it. Yeah, and not listen and not listen to you know, what people say, because you're gonna have those days, you know, where people are kind of down on you. Then you're gonna have, you know, it's really a mix, because you have the people who behind you, you have the people who are not behind you, and then you have the people who give you good advice, and then you have the people who just kind of go with whatever you say, so you're not really sure if you're getting good advice. So you really have to be strong within yourself, right?
Definitely. And one of the ways I deal with people who, like the last group of people that you mentioned, is sometimes you got to pin people down, especially if you know that you respect their opinion. You have to be like, I need you to actually talk to me. I need you to legitimately tell me what you think of what I'm doing. And then you can base what you want to do from that. I mean, I'm still dealing with people seeing American Idol, the audition that I did, and saying, well, her hair is just too radical. I don't want to book her at this venue. Like, literally, that's still happening in my life. And so, you know, you go to people and you're like, well, is the hair worth it? Is the hawk worth it? Like, I like how it looks. You know, it's edgy, it's cool, it makes me feel sexy. But, like, you know, is this hurting all of us? Because I've got, you know, 2 to however many other people are in whatever band I'm trying to bring up with me. You know what I mean? It's like, how much worth does this thing have? And you gotta be able to get people to talk to you.
Well, you know what? I'm gonna talk to you and give you. I'm gonna talk to you right now and tell you. Look, first of all, and I'm thinking you already know this, so I'm probably not telling you nothing new. But first of all, on behalf of a whole lot of people, we love the hawk. We think it looks good on you in general. No, I'm being honest now. You know what I'm saying? This is not for showmanship at all. Like, it's stylish, number one. It suits you. It goes with your personality. It's still classy. It's not some kind of, you know, and I've seen it, so I'm not just making this up. You know, it suits you. It goes with your personality. And it's not some kind of, by no means is it a junky type mohawk. It's a classy mohawk. It looks good. It's flavorful. Come on. You know what I'm saying? So I'm keeping it 100. So I'll say right here on the show, anybody who does not like it does not like style. And that's just,
exactly.
And that's just all there is to it.
Oh man, we need to hang out more.
Hey, we will. When we will. You know, and I'm just saying that, you know, to everybody out there listening. Look, whoever said that anyway, and I don't know. I don't care if I'm shooting myself in the foot, but you know, whoever says that kind of stuff, I mean, hey, you know, look at where they are and you know, look at where you're going, where you're at, and where you're headed. Keep doing your thing. Don't even worry about that. We love it. Everybody loves it. And keep wearing it. Don't do it. Look, I'm sitting there trying to imagine what you would look like without it now. And
there's Facebook pictures of shoulder length hair.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
there is every length of hair.
Do you? I've seen a couple. I've seen a couple different ones. As a matter of fact, how are you liking rocking the mohawk? Are you happy with it?
Oh, I love it. I'm only growing it out right now because it's cold. Oh. I'm ready for the snow. You know, I gotta have like an inch on the sides to protect me, man.
I know that's right.
I can't rock it like you.
Look,
I can't. I just,
hey,
you
look.
know, I've tried, and people threaten me when I try.
Look, I was going to say, look, I might need to switch up myself. I know it's cold over here where I'm at these days, and I was riding last night. I had my head out the window. That bald head was not doing it for me. I was like, damn, this shit crazy. I forgot. Look, I happened to forget a little personal story. I got my little Scully with my little mask that I wear when it's real cold out. And out of all the days that I have never needed this mask on, last night I had a situation and did not have it with me. And I'm thinking, I got a bald head. I ain't got this hat on. So yeah, I can feel you right there with needing some heat. And of course I find it today and it's like sunny outside. I'm like, oh damn. But you know. Shit's crazy. But listen, Naomi, shout outs. Who out there you want to shout out?
Shout outs. Girl About Town Entertainment, Tara Renee, my bestie, my agent. She's going to be starting up her radio show soon.
Okay.
And other people who are important, my sister, and my other people. I wasn't ready for shout outs, apparently.
You know what?
I'm just going to let that one go.
I'm going to tell you what, yo, I think you know what? Shout outs used to be a big thing, just to touch on that. I noticed lately, though, not a lot of people ready for the shout outs. Remember back in the day when everybody used to be on the shout outs? And people used to.
Yeah, I grew up in a forest, so I didn't really get radio other than like Art Bell.
Yeah. You know, I do that. I do that all the time. You know, I'm on the radio every day, and I swear I shout out the same 4 people every day.
Okay.
Like, you know,
teach me how it's done.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And there's so many that I would like to name, but, you know, when it comes down to it, you know, I guess everybody out there just supposed to know that they count. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you understand.
Everybody who needs to be shouted out knows that I would shout them out if I had a brain.
Right.
They forgive me, I think.
It's understandable. You know what? All right, look, we know you got to get ready to get out of here, but listen, Naomi, you know, you're amazing, and we congratulate you on all your success, and we wish you all the best in the future. And, you know, we stand behind you. And look, I'm assuming you got plans to go to Hollywood, right?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, that's what's up. We're going to be looking forward to that, as a matter of fact. And, you know what? Get back on the show. Get back on the show as soon as you can, as a matter of fact. I don't want to be bugging you. I know you got a heavy schedule coming up, but, you know, come on back. Let's talk about education and everything else.
Absolutely. Let's do those things.
That sounds like a plan. Listen, everybody out there all across the land, all across the globe, this is Naomi. Say it for me, Naomi. Tatsuoka, that's right. I wanted to make sure we knew it right.
Yep.
But make sure everybody, you know, make sure you go show your support. Listen to what she says too, because you know, she's giving some great advice, not just from the perspective of being, you know, a musician, but just in life in general. So, you know, make sure you take that in. Make sure you go check her out, support her, back her up on the show. And look, we look forward to hearing from you soon. Also, to everybody out there, in case you missed this interview live or you want to be able to hear it again, it will be posted on all the social network sites and things of that nature. Listen, anywhere you want people to know that they can go follow you at, Naomi?
You can follow me on Facebook, Naomi T, or my personal page, Naomi Tatsuoka. I got my website, www.naomitatsuoka.com. It just got this nice remodel, this makeover. Mm-hmm. Again, thanks to my sister.
Big shouts out to sis, because she's doing a lot.
Yeah, I got music on Spotify and iTunes. Check it out.
Oh.
There's links on the website.
Okay, glad you said that too. Listen, anytime you want to shoot some of your music over here and have me put it in rotation on the show, you know you're more than welcome. We got you.
Awesome.
Sounds like a plan.
Coolness.
All right, Naomi. Look,
thanks so much for having me.
We'll be talking to you soon, Naomi.
Awesome. Thanks so much. Bye.
Bye. That was Naomi Tatsuoka. Right here on the Keith Harris Show, Industry International. Big shouts out to her. Big shouts out to her whole team and everybody involved and things of that nature. Make sure you go check her out. You know, support her. We commend her for doing her thing. It's a real heavy situation. Very inspirational young lady as well. Positive, motivated, and ambitious, and sticking to her goal. And got her education too, as we like. So, you know, again, we thank her and her whole team and everybody for her joining us today. Once again, I want to give a big shout out to Molly O'Gara for helping to make everything possible, and you know, their whole team and their whole network over there. And y'all don't go nowhere. Y'all listen to the Keith Harris Show, Industry International, and we'll be back in just a few minutes. We're gonna get into some music right now.